Hey guys, welcome back. Today we're going to talk about a concept that a lot of people make a big deal about, and for good reason: scalability. It's really the key to figuring out if your business can grow into something huge.
So let's just start with a really big question, because the answer tells you everything about the potential and, the limits of your business idea. Could you actually sell what you have to millions of people?
And really, what you're asking about is your business's growth ceiling. Every business has one, and scalability is what decides just how high that ceiling is going to be.
And this is the crucial point. Scalability isn't some fancy buzzword. It literally defines the maximum size your business can ever get to. If your model just can't grow past a certain point, well, that's your limit. That's the end of the road.
See, every time you level up in size, a whole new set of problems just appears out of nowhere. Getting that very first customer? That has its own challenges. But selling to the next 10,000? Whoa, that's a whole different game. All of a sudden, you're worrying about production lines, logistics, warehousing, taxes, health codes. It just gets more and more complex at every single level.
So knowing all that, let's get down to it. What do we really mean when we say scalability? Let's lock in a definition.
In the simplest terms, it's just how easily your business can handle growth. Can it go from one customer to 1,000,000 without the whole thing just breaking?
It's kind of goofy, but I always think of it like this. Imagine your business is a little rectangle, like a 1 by 1 pixel on a screen. If you grab the corner and just drag it to scale it up, does it scale cleanly, or does it just fall apart and get all distorted? That's scalability.
Now, it's really important to realize that not every business needs to be infinitely scalable. It all depends on your goals. For a side hustle, you only need to scale it to a certain point. For a lifestyle business, you need some scale, but only enough to support your life. But for a startup, for a startup, scalability is everything.
So, how can you tell if your idea has what it takes to scale up? Well, we can run it through a pretty simple test. It's just 3 key questions. Okay, question number 1, and this might be the most important factor of all. What is your marginal cost? Understanding this one little thing will tell you so much about your business's potential. So, what is marginal cost? It basically just means every time you sell one more thing, how much does that actually cost you? Not your fixed costs, but the cost for that one extra customer. Let me give you an example. In some businesses, if you sell something for $10, it might cost you $7 just to make it, like a food product. But in other businesses, you sell something for $10 and it costs you like a penny to deliver. Think about software as a service, Spotify, Dropbox, stuff like that. When you pay them $10, what does it honestly cost them to add you? Just a little bit of server time and bandwidth. That's why those businesses are so incredibly scalable.
All right, test number 2. This one's a big one because it's a trap a lot of people fall into. How much does the business depend directly on you?
If the business literally can't grow without you being there for every sale, you've got a huge bottleneck. Let's say you're an amazing artist and you sell original paintings. Well, that's really hard to scale. Why? Because you can't clone yourself to paint faster. But what if you sold digital prints of that same artwork? Then you could sell thousands automatically without any more of your time. And our final test looks at the market itself. Because, even the most perfect business model can't scale if there's nobody to sell to.
This one's pretty straightforward. If you're making a drug that treats a disease that only, say, 10,000 people in the world have, there's a hard limit to how much you can scale. Once you've sold to those 10,000 customers, that's it. Your market is tapped out. The business isn't really scalable beyond that point.
Okay, let's put all this together and look at a practical example of a scalable versus an unscalable model. This should really make it all click into place. A great example is business coaching. If you're a coach, the unscalable model is one-on-one coaching. Every time you get a new customer, it costs you more of your personal time. It's almost like active income. But if you want to make that scalable, what could you do? You could take all your knowledge, put it into an online course, and then sell that. You do the work once, and then it's super easy to sell each one because your marginal costs are basically 0.
So this all brings us to one last really crucial takeaway. After you think about marginal costs, how much the business depends on you, and how big your market is, you have to ask one final question.
And you've got to be honest with yourself here. Is the business you're imagining something that's built to grow on its own, or is it really built around you? There's no right or wrong answer, but you absolutely have to know which path you're on so you can build a business that actually matches what you want in the long run.